Everybody, today we're going to be doing the video tutorial on correlation. So the first question is about R, and they want us to know what R is if you have a perfect negative linear correlation. Now remember, R is a linear correlation coefficient, okay? And R is always between -1 and 1. If you have a perfect negative linear relation, then R must be equal to -1. Some of the answers here are not possible. These two are not possible, okay? So R is a -1 that gives us a perfect negative linear relation, okay? Now let's look at this problem. They want us to match the linear correlation to the scatter diagram on the right. So let's see, we have R equal to -0.049, R equal to -0.810, or R equal to -1. They all happen to be negative here. They're not always like that, but it's fine. We already done this, didn't we? R equal to -1, then we have a perfect negative line here. So like here, a line with a negative slope. And so R equal to -1, that's part C, must be response 3 here. The answer 3 here, number 3. Okay. And let's see, we have R equal to -0.810, so it's close, not, you know, it must be the first one, right? Because the absolute value is a bit large, closer to 1 than it is closer to 0. So it must be this one right here. So part B, R is -0.810 must be 1. And of course here -0.049, that's relatively close to 0. And as you see, the points in 2 here are all over the place. So part A must be number 2. And let's check our answer. And that's correct. Okay. All right. So going to the next question here, let's try to, we're going to have to draw a scatter diagram. So we already have A, B, C, D. We basically need to draw it on statcrunch. You want to compare which one is the right answer. So let's go ahead and do that. So click here to view the data set, and here they are. You click on the small box right there. You open in statcrunch. And you have to click somewhere else. Now we need to find the graph, the scatter plot, and there it is, scatter plot. Click on that. Now remember, X is in here, it must be X right here, and Y, so X is a response, X is the explanatory variable, and Y would be your response variable. And you click on compute, and here it is. Now the key here is to recognize which one is the right answer. Here sometimes, a lot of times they put two are the same. So let's remove this so we can examine the graph. Okay, so let's try. Here we have 2 and roughly, I don't know, 2, 1 and 4, 6 or 7, right? This is not a possibility. Here it says 220, so that's not a possibility. So immediately eliminate it. Okay, and this is 2. That could be it. First one, the second one, 4. So you also have to look at what represent. I'm assuming it looks like 2, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, each one is 2 points. So we have 2, 4. So this one has 2, 4. Because you can tell from here, this is 10. So each one is represent 1. And here, each grid is 2. This this one, for some reason, does not look right. 2, 4, this doesn't look 2, 4 in here to me. It looks like 2, 1 or so. But let's double check the other one. So we have 4 and roughly, we want to say 8, 4, 8. So let's see here, 4, 2, 4, 6, 8. So this is okay. So this is 6, 9, and 10. So let's see, 6, 9. Okay, so we know this is wrong. This is not 6, and this is close to 6, 13 or so. So here doesn't look like it's 14. So this cannot be it either. So see what I mean? You're going to have to examine them. You have to make sure they're correct. This is not a possibility. I can just see it to 20. That's not it. So you're looking at, let's double check if this is the correct one. 2, that seems close enough. 4, 7 or 4, 8. So 4, 2, 4, 6, 8. So this is fine. 6, 10, 6, 14, 6, 10, 6, 14. Yep. So one last point. 7, 20. So let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 20. There it is. That's your answer. So examine it again. Make sure what you have here. Make sure the points. So this must be the right answer. And let's check. And that's very good. We got it right. A lot of times two are quite similar. So you have to really pay attention to that. So these, the first 2 points and the last one, relatively similar. You're off by the middle two here. So let's go ahead now and answer part B. Compute the correlation coefficient. The correlation coefficient, you know, that is R. R gives us the correlation coefficient. So let's go ahead and find out. How do we get that? Well, you can go back to statcrunch, or if you still have it, let's go, let's redo it here. Let me see if I can still reopen it. Yep. We need the correlation. I do not need this anymore, so I can remove this. This is the information I need. We need to find R. Yeah, I don't need to graph now. I need to go to stat. So you can find R in 2 different ways. Let me show you one way here, summary stats. And you go to correlation. And if you click on that, you tell it, okay, so you have to select both X and Y. Make sure you hit the shift in order to select them, and they will be selected here. And then you hit compute. And this would be your correlation coefficient. Now you have to watch out. You need to round it to the correct number of places after the decimal point. So I'm going to take 4, and I don't think it's going to ask you for more than that. And so, yeah, what do you want? 3 decimal places as needed. You always have to make sure you read how many of them. So 3 decimal place, that means this becomes 1, the 1 becomes 2. I have 902. And here is, you check the answer, and that's the correct answer. And this is the way you can get your correlation coefficient. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and answer the next question. We want to determine whether there's a linear correlation. Now, recall, in order, the way you find out if there's a linear correlation is by checking the critical value. The critical value they give us here in the second link here. So here I have 5 different points. I click on this, and then it would be 5, and the critical value is 0.878. That is your critical value, 0.878. So because the correlation coefficient is, well, a correlation coefficient is positive, so it's positive. The absolute value of the correlation coefficient is the same thing, 0.902. 0.902, is it greater or not greater than the critical value? Now remember the critical value, I just copied it, it's 0.878. The linear correlation, the absolute value of the linear correlation coefficient, 0.902, is greater than the critical value. So let's go ahead and do that. It's greater than the critical value. And since it's greater than the critical value, then there is a correlation. There is a linear relation, but it must be positive because R is positive. So a positive linear correlation exists between X and Y. And here's our answer. And now let's check our answer. And that is correct. Okay. So now going to the next question, let me skip that one. And let's go ahead and do this one. So we found the linear correlation and we were able to see if there is a linear correlation. Now in this question, we want to find the least square regression line. If there is a linear correlation, then find the line. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. So here the data below represent commute time and scores on a well-being survey. Complete part A to D. So we're going to do part A. We need to find the line. So again, click on this, click on open in statcrunch. Make sure you click somewhere else. Now you cannot choose correlation. You just get the correlation R. You don't get the equation. What you need to do is you need to go to regression. Remember, you're going to the regression line and you have to choose a simple linear. Okay, you click on the simple linear and then let's see, X would be the commute time, right? And Y would be your well-being index score. All right, you click on that, you compute, and just let me show you how you can find out the equation. The equation is this one right here. All right, so the one I'm going to highlight right now. So if you let me go ahead and expand this, you can see the well-being index score Y, because Y represents the well-being index score, equal to 69.04429 minus 0.005. 2324259 commute time. That's another way of saying Y equals, so make sure you understand that that's the same as saying Y equal 69.04429 minus 0.05232429 times X. Okay, so if you notice here, they put the one I'm highlighting, I'm going to highlight right now, they put the y-intercept first. Remember, this is here, the slope. So they put this first. So make sure you have this. So write it down as y equal 69.044, sorry, minus 0.00523. You don't have to mention them all because you're going to round to 3 digits, if I'm not mistaken, times X. So make sure you have this in order, okay? Say they want 3 decimal places, so I'm guessing they want 3 decimal places for both the slope. So again, this is the slope. I need to put the second one first, so it's negative 0.052. So here we have 3 digits to the decimal point, and here you have 69.044. So remember, I want to get this again to make sure you guys understand this. Let me minimize it a bit so you can compare it. So this is the slope. This is this one. Okay, and don't forget the negative 0.05 to 3 digits after the decimal point. And this one would be your y-intercept. Okay, again, 3 digits after the decimal point. So we are done. Let's check our answer. And here's our answer, it's correct. And this is our problem. I hope you found this video helpful. Okay, guys, see you next video. Have a good day. Bye-bye.